emotions wane, the cells will go into a period of chemical withdrawal. You will actually begin to withdraw from your own. Yeah. What happened? What happened to the mic? Hello? My mic went out. What did you do? Do we have a technical person?
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Is that on? Hello? Okay, good. So as the chemicals of emotion wane, the cells will go into a period of chemical withdrawal. This will stimulate the brain to produce more molecules of emotion, and the cells will carry out the corresponding behavior to concentrate the chemicals in the tissues. This is known as emotionalism, which creates drama. No, I'm serious. You have to understand that drama is a biological created activity because the chemistry of that emotion is dwindling in that person's body. And so therefore, to keep that chemistry at the level that it's used to, it will stimulate the person to create drama. So you have to understand this is a self-imposed chemical addiction to one's own emotions. And if that means that they are sabotaging things to solve this chemical imbalance in the body, they will do that. If it means that they have to create disharmony or create havoc, etc., it will happen over and over and over again. So these people don't need enablers that continuously support them through their high drama. They need to actually be treated and put into withdrawal and consult about how to be able to separate their sensations from a thought so they don't not continuously create this chemistry. So you have to understand this is a serious problem, because what I have observed about us as African Americans is that we have difficulty staying focused and participatory in an event because we allow our emotions, and now we've created these emotions because we have judged someone else's speech or someone else's behavior to allow us to abandon the goal or the project over and over and over again. So I used to find it very interesting because Caucasians will make it very clear to each other, I really do not like you. However, if they are very clear that they need that person's skill or talent, that is inconsequential, and I will meet you tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock so we can get busy on this project. And at 5 o'clock, don't speak to me again. So I've heard us rationalize that, oh, that's hypocritical and just a whole bunch of other stuff, and how can they do that, and they shouldn't speak, and look at what they did. A whole bunch of chemical poisons and toxins that you have created in your mind. Because when the mind understands that we need certain skills and talents to be able to get a project done, we're not interested in how they look, what they say, what they may be doing, etc. We're interested, can they execute this particular activity to the extent that I'm going to get one step closer to the goal. And if the mind understands that, a healthy mind will ignore the rest of the activities and stay focused on the goal. This is critical. I mean, I have seen us talk about we're not speaking and whatever else, etc., and nothing gets done. Nothing. Over and over and over again. Because we are emotional addicts. We are not in control at all of our bodies. It is our emotions that are driving us. And so therefore we have abandoned the project. Years go by, the same foolishness and nonsense, and we wonder why, what happened. And somebody else that didn't do whatever they're supposed to do. No, it was you who would not control your mind and stay focused. Next. Oh, okay. Yeah. So a key here, African Americans can employ to destroy the residual, keys that African Americans can employ to destroy the residuals of slavery. One, to take an accurate and honest inventory of your frequent thoughts. Do they support and promote your desires or not? So you have to recognize that if you're walking down the street humming Baby Faces or Beyonce's tune, and you know that you are supposed to have your bills met and that you have other goals you want to achieve, then you have to ask yourself, why am I humming this? Instead of actually focusing on and thinking about how and what I'm going to do right now that's going to expedite me meeting that goal. Do you understand that? You have to ask yourself, why are you doing that? Because that is a misuse of your attention, it is a misuse of your mind, and that means that if you are not holding the vision of that goal and working toward it, then you are obviously working towards something else. And so when you get something else and then you get upset because you haven't met the goal, whose fault is it? It's yours, because your mind didn't stay centered and focused on what you said you wanted to achieve. So we do not understand the dangers of the things that we take for granted and let into our environments and see the long-term consequences of that. So I say to you that have parents, that have children, no. They should never be allowed to basically have radio and music and TV going when they are supposed to be studying. Because this is the time that they need to learn how to be able to be so focused and so centered that whatever's on that page, they literally become it. Because when you can hold an image to that extent that it literally becomes your life, it cannot not manifest in your life. That is the promise. That's just how, when something is that vivid, it will manifest, and it will manifest very fast. So be concerned when you can't see a way to a goal or a solution as to how you're going to get there. Your picture is null and void, and it doesn't exist. And you have to understand this is how the mind works. Never participate in an experience which does not support your goals or desires. Do the research and get the information about the activity if you're not sure about the potentials it offers. I have heard that excuse that, oh, I invested in this, or we did that and the other, and, I lost this. Well, where was the data? Where was the research? Okay, what was the potential that this could actually happen? Well, if you didn't do any of that, so that when you focused your energy and put your resources where your focus was, that the chances of it not panning out like you saw it, then you have to eat that pill. It's no one else's fault but yours. So we have to basically be honest with ourselves. Where is our data research banks? Where are they? I don't know of any that you pay to support and that you hire researchers and statisticians to keep data on everything so you can make accurate decisions at the moment. That you can go to your website, etc., and download information relative to you. I'm sure most of you do not have memberships to Rand McNally, any of these databases. So therefore, what are you making decisions on? What kind of information and data are you using? You have to ask yourself that question, because if you don't know, then how can you expect for it to work? How can you expect that you don't have all kinds of potentials to enter into this that are definitely going to give you a run for the money as to whether you're going to deal with fear or not? See, these are the residues of slavery. One of the biggest issues that happened to us, that we were imprinted not to think. We were imprinted not to give our input and to have an opinion. You were imprinted to produce and never own. Do you understand that? And your community looks the exact same way as a slave quarters does right now. The paper's flying everywhere, the shingles are crooked, no plants, no flowers, etc. Why? And you say you own it. But you don't act like an owner. Because when you drive out to Plano, etc., I don't care how little the thing is. They got flowers up the kazoo, trees everywhere, everything is painted and fresh. So you have to understand that when you don't act like an owner, that you don't see your personality and your gifts and talents come out